Good morning and welcome to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts. My name is Garrett, and we're going to do number 9. Can you believe that we are on homework number 9, Global Art Exhibition? We are doing a good job. I'm proud of us. Now, when we started, remember we just did line. We worked with the soy sauce. It was just the shape and lines that went straight across, not contouring with bowls or any 3-dimension. So I said don't do wicker, so we did the basket, remember, for Easter. Don't do metal, which we did the bowls. I did the bowls with the magazines. And then I said don't do glass, because glass is going to come later. Okay, so here we are with glass. You know, we're getting to where our body of work is getting a little more complex. Now, I really love the continuous line one that I did at the studio kitchen here, but every one of them had their own personality. And when you're finished with all 10 of your pieces, I think it's going to show you as an artist a very well-rounded, creative person, and it'll give the rest of the world, when we all get to see it, hopefully in a wonderful museum that's going to want our global art exhibition, so that we can see each other's personality shine through. You may be loose, you may be kind of tight. Some people spend very little time and they make a lot of, an impact. Some people spend a ton of time going back and forth and you know, until they're happy with it, and that makes an impact. But the one thing that I want you to remember is that this is very important for the future. Hopefully this will never happen again with a pandemic that covers the entire world and puts every single human being in your home ever again. So this matters that we create what we're doing in our home to show. Okay, it just counts. So thank you for coming along with me. Today we're going to go back to the basics. Paper, my pencils, erasers that you have, and remember the stubs that we made out of the magazines. Okay, so I've got Old Trusty right here, and we're going to do glass. I've been working on mine a little bit, and it's taken me a few days, which is where I've been and why I haven't posted anything. I'm still not finished with it, but I want to show you. I'm to a place where I need to show you, because I don't want to have to go there again ever. You know, once you've done one thing one time, you know what I mean. You don't want to do it twice. So, okay, it's got my heart and soul into it right now, and I'm going to continue working on it. So let's talk about glass. It's see-through, see? Okay, so if you're talking about glass objects, you need a light source that's going to make them shiny, not dull. There's not too much black. It's going to be a lot more gray and white. So just a few dark places probably, unless you put it on a dark background of some sort. Okay, so that's going to be up to you, and you need to choose well. Okay, because this can be a challenge, but I want it to be enjoyable for you. For me, I chose a crystal lamp that I'm going to show it to you in a minute, and it has been really wonderful challenge for me, because, you know, with everything going on, you know, I got furloughed because the students didn't want to come back to the school, so they canceled 16, I think, classes. And so that happened. I had to apply for unemployment for the first time ever in my whole life. So then I called, nothing. Then we have a business, so we had to apply for a lot of papers for that. You know, not being able to see our friends, but there's like the level of stress, and then, you know, it's hard to just run away from the reality, right? And then you're at home. But so the reason I'm telling you that is because there needs to be a balance. You need to do the balance where, you know, both sides of your mind are not being fatigued. You know, like the left side doing all this logical stuff and then the worry. Don't do that. Stop after a while, find a spot like I did. I went over by the door and I sat on my little chair on a balcony. I'm on the 16th floor, so you know that's far away from people. And I sat there, and I promise you that I would have never done any of these projects had it not been for the pandemic. Because why would I? You know, why would you as an artist choose to do this other than the fact that this is something that is just global and unbelievable, right? So, and I'm so thankful I am, you know, because I go out there and I spend my time doing that, and then I feel a lot better when I go back to reality and stuff. So please do this with me. This would be easier. This would be harder. This is easier. This is harder. This is easier. Etching, this is harder. And so you can make some decisions. You could do that and that. See what I mean? Let's push it back so you can see. Maybe I'll put it on there since it's a glass. Like that. Even center it, maybe. You know, if you want to make it centered. Or just however you do it. Now, with this cabinet, with all of the print on it, if you want it to be, if you want to have a pattern go through the glass, that's going to be harder. If you want to have it on something solid, it's a little cleaner. Oops, little bug. So I want you to choose wisely. When you do etched things or cut crystal, there's a math to it. So if math frustrates you, please don't choose this. If you're intrigued by math and it kind of relaxes you, then choose something like this. When you choose an etched glass, you're going to see a picture on there. And you could get lost in that, which would be really fun, but since it's white, more white than the glass, you're going to have to leave it blank on the paper, or you're going to have a teeny little eraser to erase back to make it real clean. So this might be too tiny. That's up to you on how much of a challenge you want to do. Okay, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to show you my lamp, then I'm going to show you the picture that I took and where I'm at, and we'll keep moving forward. So just a second. Okay, so here's my beautiful lamp that my sister-in-law gave me, and it's cut crystal, really, really pretty. I really like it. I probably wouldn't have chosen this except for what I'm about to show you. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, can you see that? The morning sun was coming through the window at the perfect angle, and I think you can kind of see that. Tilt a little more. And it went right through the crystal, and it made that pattern and all the light shining everywhere, and it was so splendid to me that I just had to do that. I said I have to draw that. So okay, so anyway, I am going to go back in there and we're going to look at what we did to get it set up so that you can help yourself. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so get your piece of paper, get all trusty, get your lightest pencil. Remember we did that, figured out which ones are the light ones and the dark ones. You're going to do a 1/2 inch border. You do your 2/3, or you can just sit there in the room or wherever you're at where you've set it up. I had to take a picture because of the light shining through, and the light would change. And so if you're going to have a light source from outside, and then you need to go ahead and take a picture of it because the light source will change all through the day and per day. So I did that. And then I drew it in as best as I could with a light hand. Don't be hard, okay? Because black lines, we don't want black lines. We're past lines, we're into shadows. So this is why I stopped. I chose to leave white paper, light gray, and darker charcoal, okay? Not much black. And so this is where I am at the moment. And what the plan is at this point is I'm going to erase back the light and shadow. I'm going to add shadow and erase back the light in these sections. So I'm going to put the camera down closer to this piece, and I'm going to pull up my image, and I'm going to start working on that to show you how. One second. Oh wait, let me turn it off right here. Okay, so here's where we are. You can see that, I hope. And so I left white paper here, there, a little bit here, and pretty much everything else has some gray on it because there's so much gray in that picture, and you're going to find the same thing. Now, this is kind of a fat one for an eraser. This one, you know, it's looking kind of dirty there too. So I'm going to take some paper and I'm going to watch that. See how messy that is? Ew. So that's how you clean off your eraser. Is you just scrub it till you get it to where you want it. Because if you scrub and the black comes into your black, I mean, you'll be like, what did I just do? And you want a nice point too, because with this, with cut glass, you're going to have a nice point. All right, so that's pretty clean. Doesn't look that good, but it will be. All right, so at this point, I'm going to put this right here so you can see it too. I think you can see that. Yeah. All right. So I am going to start with a simple line. I'm coming off about right here, and it angles down. So I'm not going to make it too hard at first. I'm just going to, wrong side. See what I mean? How nice that is? Don't get too harsh. It feathers out at the end where the light beam kind of gets a little fatter. And it's a little wider right there. So, you know, spend some time. Here's another one down here. Different angle. It's wider there. And then I'm going to lighten up. And it feathers off down into the corner here. Okay, there's a very light one there. You can always come back and scrub a little harder, but I don't want to mess up all this nice, beautiful tone that I have here. Okay, so that one's going to come across. This one's closer. And there's feathers. It's feathery. And it has a little drawn place where it gets a different shape, which is so fun. A little bit lighter, so I'm going to use the flat side. Yep. Okay. Then this one comes up. No, don't worry about turning your paper. Now it's darker up in there, and I don't want to deal with that right now. What I want to keep going with, this is my light gray. Let's work on this. Okay, so I'm going to get my 2B. There's shadows in here that are darker, so I'm going to add some more, but I'm not going to be heavy-handed. I'm going to be light with it. That's the metal part of the top of the lamp. And you know, someone somewhere, I used to do this for designs. They would build them in China. Somebody has to sit there and draw every single detail for the metal workers or the wicker basket weavers, you know, wherever the products are made. There has to be a beautiful, there's a light gray, oops. In fact, you know what? Remember when I told you I love the stub because you can shade with the dirty stub? Ooh, love it. Okay, yeah, that's really nice. Really nice. But anyway, someone somewhere had to actually draw this piece of metal. And so now I'm going to get this little piece. I'm going to go back and erase some more. Okay, I really want that to be white right there. So when you're doing this, if you're doing etching, I want you to think about the beauty of the craftsmanship of that, you know, and let's just say it's just etched glass. I mean, glass is not very expensive, but I mean, think about how much trouble somebody went to if it takes you this long just to draw it, right? And it's a beautiful thing when you're done. You can always tell if somebody cared when they draw. If you look, well, let me put it this way. If you see a drawing and then you just walk away, then it's probably because the person didn't spend any time at all on their drawing. Now, yes, there's times where you notice I'm not doing black lines around everywhere. We're way past that. But you can just tell. You can tell. Here's another thing. If you're looking at a drawing and it really didn't take the person that long, the artist, to draw it, but they're so good at drawing and they've done it so much for so many years, then their experience and their expertise will come shining through, and so the simplicity and the quickness will still make you stop and look. But that was because of years and years and years of trying to master the art of drawing. So, see, pretty nice. I like it. Now, I'm focused on that, right? So I don't want to go any further yet until I've gone through the whole thing. And people tend to, if I'm working on this, then I just, oh my gosh, baby it, without seeing the whole picture. So what we're going to do is get to a certain spot, stop. Get this one up to that place, that up to that place. You know what I mean? Like, get everything up to kind of this little place. And then we can go another level or another level and another level. So at that point, let me see here. I'm going to look up here at me. Hi. Okay, so paper, pencils, erasers. Choose what you're going to do. A simpler piece of glass or crystal, or a more complex. You know, I'm just doing one object, but mine's very complex because of the light. So choose. Please have such pleasure doing it. I can't wait to talk to you about it when it happens, you know, with our exhibition, with our homework, right? Doing it home. Just to hear what your choices were, why you chose what you chose, the pencils that you chose, the erasers, what kind of light, what kind of background, how you did it. I want to hear all about it. And I want to see, you know, your lamp or your whatever your stuff is. All right, I'm going to go work on this for a while, and I'll see you back here. So how did you do? I wound up, I taught color theory for a while, and so, you know, Newton, when he took the, when light went through the prism and it came out a rainbow. So I kind of went with that. I've kind of added a little bit of makeup because I felt like when the light came through and it went out on the walls, I could see light that had some color. I got kind of tired of gray, and I wanted a little bit of that. I also added a very clean bit of precise line in the where the cut crystal is, to differentiate it from the blurry, you know, light flying like a bird or butterfly everywhere else, which I loved. And now, if I had some white paint or white, I wouldn't use paint, I would use whiteout because we're doing everything from home and being authentic. So I would use whiteout, and I would add a very tiny little bit of white, pure white, every now and then. And so eventually I will do that when I have whiteout someday. But anyway, I'm going to put this down so that you can actually see it. Let me put it on pause. Okay, I'm going to turn this down. You can see it. So that's my piece. If we're going to add some white, I would do a little bit right in there. I would do a little bit up in here and just a few dots every now and then, and probably call it a day. So you can see that there's pink, some yellow, green makeup, blues, but you know, not that one blue that turns black. I put that right there, which why is it black? And then the table was brown. I added some more green over here, and then I wanted yellow. That's my favorite color, so I wanted a little more yellow. And I didn't want it to be like the lamp was on. I wanted it to be like the, you know, shining through the piece from the window. So that's why I did not keep this pure white either. So that's that. And let me pull this up a little bit. Okay, so we are now done with number 9, and we are going to do number 10. Number 10 should be your masterpiece. We're going to talk about that. It's going to be an architectural drawing. And why do we choose drawing, not painting, not all sculpture and all of that other business? Because it's just going back to basics. That's where we are. We're in our houses, we're cooking for ourselves, doing all of our laundry, cleaning for ourselves, not doing anything else, right? So we're just going back to basics. So drawing is the basics. And so we're going to do an architectural drawing. You know, we can't really go outside. We're not allowed to do that social distancing thing unless that you need to go to the grocery store. So we're looking outside a lot. And so like me looking out my window from the balcony here down over the city, I'm going to start to draw a piece that has to do with me being inside looking out. And so that's going to be our last piece. Now, so start thinking about that right now. Do you want to look out a window? Do you want to look out a door? How are you looking out? Are you looking out toward the city? Are you looking out toward a hall? Where are you going to be looking out? It's something that you're going to have to think through. The other thing is, now remember, we've used a lot of materials, different media, they say. And so this is going to be a multimedia piece. I want you to think about how you're going to use the soy sauce, weaving the basket, you know, with the makeup, the magazines with the bowls, pencil, line, contour line, cross hatching, you know, all of that stuff. So I want you to think back through all the pieces that you've done, all 9, and I want you to think forward for your masterpiece, and I want you to bring it all together in that piece, okay? So start thinking about it, and I will see you on number 10. You're doing good. Again, thank you for coming to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts. God loves you so much, and so do we.